Hello everyone and welcome to the next segment of Ergo Summit, where we go through a demonstration provided by a non-reel. One of the first things that we can see within the layout of Ergo Auctions is a panel to the left, which provides an interface for navigating around. If we go to auction history, we have the ability to witness all the past auctions that have been completed. Inside the auction box, the token ID for the NFT is presented. Going a little bit towards the bottom of the box, there is an option denoted as details. Clicking on this, we can see the history of the bids for the auction as they happened. The transaction that contained the bid can also be seen, which is great for verifying who sold the NFT as well as who bought the NFT. The transaction will also contain the asset ID, which is assigned to the NFT. And along with all of this, we can see our bids. Now, looking towards the panel to the left, we can move from the auction history back to active auctions. Here we can see that there is already one auction active, which has 62 blocks remaining, around 124 minutes, 2 hours. Now let's quickly look at creating a auction for ourselves. At the top is where the token ID is entered. This can all be automated via Ergoutils. Below the field for the entry of the token ID, we also have the ability to set some parameters for the auction itself, with some specifics such as token quantity, the initial bid for the NFT, the smallest increment between bids, and of course the auction duration, with an option to extend the auction based upon the last bid that was placed. And right at the bottom, we can set a description for the auction. This is a great place to post a link towards an online space where one can see the NFT. Our auctions transaction is automatically generated. A notification pops up just in the top right corner to notify us that the transaction has been generated. If you do continue to stay on the web page following the initiation of the auction, you'll be notified furthermore about the status of the auction. Things such as who has placed bids and to what degree their offer is. We just have to wait for a miner to pull it from the mempool and released with the next block. And when all of this has been executed, we receive another notification via a pop-up, which tells us that our NFT auction has successfully been posted to ErgoAuctionHouse. Now everyone has the opportunity to place a bid on your auction. Now let's place a bid. If you click on Update Wallet to the top right of the webpage, you are presented with an interface to enter your wallet address. You have the choice of selecting any wallet, the node wallet, which comes with Ergo, along with Uroi. Moving on, if we open up Uroi, let's generate a new address quickly. We'll copy that address and paste it. If you just click on Save, ErgoAuctionHouse will successfully configure the wallet for you. Finally, you can bid away on all of your favorite NFTs. Once ErgoAuctionHouse has processed your input, it will specify an amount of Erg that you need to send to the address given. Anything sent to this address is safe. If you send too much, there's no need to panic. The transaction will simply be returned. Now let's send the necessary amount. If we quickly go back to Uroi, paste the copied auction address. Following that, copy and paste the amount required to be sent. Returning back to ErgoAuctionHouse, we just have to go through the procedure of our bid being mined once again. Let's just double check our offer, and there it is. We can click on See Transaction for a quick direction to the Ergo Explorer, where we are shown the transaction itself as it is on the blockchain. And thankfully, there it is. So the person who has been outbidded, if the current price is still deemed to themselves as being within their range, they have the ability to use their funds once more. And of course, this is something that you would expect. Moving back to ErgoAuctionHouse again, once our bid has successfully been placed, we can see our address as the current bidder, which is the third row down under the current price. If we click on the circled question mark to the right of this row, we will once again be pulled to Ergo Explorer. And of course, we are the current winner of the bid. If you're interested in the changes of the NFT's valuation over time, within the bottom left of its container, you can see how much it has increased by since the initial bid. For the second part of this demonstration, we will now have a look at setting up an auction through the usage of Ergoutils. Let's auction this piece of art in ErgoAuctions.org. It's always useful to use some form of online storage, such as ibb.co, as shown, just so the bidders can see for themselves what is being offered. But before we actually initiate the auction, let's firstly have a look at Ergoutils.org. Ergoutils is a pretty neat and simple application that can assist with a variety of needs for all users with any wallet. Currently, Ergoutils facilitates issuing a new token as well as artwork NFTs. Clicking on My Tokens, we can look at our previously issued tokens towards the Ergo Environment. Now let's quickly walk through this process to retrieve our address for Ergoutils and just follow the copy and paste process, followed by save. Ergoutils will notify you that the operation has been successful. Finally, we can set the name of our artwork. To complement the season, let's name it Christmas with Ergo. Be sure to provide a accurate and descriptive name for the artwork. And now we can elaborate on the artwork name within the artwork description box. It's good to extend on what we have named our NFT. Remember, we want to encourage people to place bids, so it's good to provide details such as what has inspired you for your piece, possibly what software application was used. And as covered a couple of minutes ago, a link to the artwork would be extremely useful. After setting the artwork description, it's time for us to select the file which contains the artwork for the checksum to be computed locally on your system. Now here's a little catch. If we issue the NFT now, it will be sent to our own address, which of course we don't want. So let's go to ergoauctions.org and try to initiate our auction first. And if you remember, before we try to do that, we must configure our wallet, which is simply done by copying and pasting the address into the field. We will set our initial bid to 5 ERG. We'll have to deposit that amount not long after creating the auction. If we use a minimum step of 20 ERG, each offer made must be at least 20 higher than the previous. Remember that this can be both provocative, but at the same time could possibly be off-putting. And as shown in the first half of this demonstration, we will use the auto-extend feature for the duration of the auction. And finally, let's give a description to the piece. This is the first graphical auction on Ergo Auction House. Thus, let's specify it. Now we need to send exactly 5.002 erg, and it's worth noting we have a limited time to do this. Now let's click on the amount we must send, navigate back to ergoutils.org and paste that amount within the amount field as shown. Now let's copy the address, go back to Ergoutils again and paste that into send to. Once done, click on issue, and before we're ready to fly off, we just have to deposit the amount which is shown to the address provided. And once received, Ergoutils will issue the artwork and send it to ErgoAuctionHouse with the initial bid. All of this happens by using a proxy service, the assembler. Any wallet can be used, so let's send the amount using Euro. Now we literally just have to wait a few seconds before all of this is recognized. And when completed, we will of course be notified of this. You can click on this pop-up box for more details, as well as check the transaction for a second opinion if needed. If we head back over to ErgoAuctionHouse, we can check our auction again. It should be listed there, ready for an offer. Everything that we can see is achieved by chained transactions, with the only roadblock being us having to wait for them to be mined. And until recently, we have the ability to explore artworks on ErgoAuctionHouse, as it now recognizes the auction's specifications. And we can look at the details which were shown as we were setting up our auction in Ergoutils. As demonstrated, you can just copy the URL for where the image is stored online. But we now have the benefit of Ergo Auctions loading images directly into the dApp, which I recommend is something for you to try out following Ergo Summit. And of course, as shown, placing the bid is very easy. Just enter your desired amount, and of course send your desired amount from your chosen address. It would be great if we saw some more action at Ergoutils. There's a lot of fruitful things which we can reap from this application. This is only going to expand further while the ecosystem expands. I'm sure we can expect a lot from Ergoutils in 2021. And that's all from a non-real. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of Ergo Summit 21.